So we start our Way of the Samurai showcase. If you didn't know, Ghostoftsushima Sucker Punches, published by PlayStation, is now having a month-long samurai movie marathon. And if that sounds cool, it's because samurais are freaking cool, man. So, question. Who is Zantoichi and what is the tale? Well, I've heard that name before, and well, I can't be like, yo, I remember this history of this one guy that does one thing. The word Zantoichi has always been around the mindscape when it comes to this ultimate warrior that I believe is like one of the first to go like low key, you know what I mean? And I feel like we call that Le Sigma. Sigma no what? Don't worry about it. Because we've talked about power. We've talked about the use of power. We've talked about how most people who abuse power are simply covering the fact that they don't have much of it, or control, or belief, or faith, or X amount of things in the universe. So it's a tried and true tale when you encounter the lone gunman, the Westerner, the lone wanderer, the endless samurai in the distance, and you see that character, and you see the hill, and you see the silhouette of the guy walking towards the camera over the hill, and you go like, damn, that guy's been places. And it's very interesting to see that in a Japanese film. This is Japanese history, believe it or not. And it's interesting, it's fascinating, because we grow up in California, in the world of movie land and blah, blah, blah. And one of the earliest things they keep on telling us, you, what person growing, is cowboys. Cowboys, Westerners, and that lone gruff, what's his name? JoJo has a catchphrase after him, yada yada, good grief. The man himself. Anyways, so which came first is my idea. As I understand it, the cinemascape was a thing before the big booms, the big Hollywood productions, the big California and whatever you want to call it. And to see just a simple, beautifully shot presentation, we think about what it takes to actually film something. Back in the day where digital was not a thing, back when you had to actually time your day, your schedule, to where the sunlight would hit the camera lens at a perfect timing so that could burn the images into your film, and that film can be reproduced to become cinema. Film, cinema, the beauty of it. Hello, hello. And it's never gonna stop being a beautiful amazement that we were able to take pictures and then synchronize the following pictures to create moving images, which were just then brought to this point that we go, yo man, what if we had a samurai? To which everyone goes like, yeah, they're cool, but how can you make them cooler? What if you had a blind samurai? And after that beautiful introduction, the tale of Zantoichi. This is something that while it has everything that we've come to expect, in a superhero movie, let's just put it that way. The single hero comes to town, or is in town, or has a situation happen to his universe, and he has to make the choice whether he wants to step up or he's just gonna be the the gust in the wind. I was gonna say fart in the wind, but that doesn't seem very nice, does it? But the slow transition in the wind. He could either be gone, he could either be in a different town, he could do anything in the universe, as is his prerogative, solo freedom will. But then we see the humanity. We see the human behind the legend, or the building blocks of what this legend would become from the actions of this human. And that's where we find the core, right? Because any Hollywood superstar could go out there, make an explosion, slap that shit onto a 80-mile-per-hour bus, and be like, cinema, Michael Bay. But when we take it back to the original, when we go simply, look, we got people, we got a story, and we gotta film this when the sun is out. We get to it. We get a not just this guy who carries his sword, even though it's a cane, but it's this human who is simply in a place where he is just living. He has expressed, he has done, he has acted, and he has committed. But in this moment when there is not much left for this man to do if he wishes not to, life comes at you. Life comes at him, unprecedented. And we have the conflict, a little mini war between the towns, if you will. Of course, feudal Japan is a moment where everybody was running after each other, trying to gain the upper hand, because in the land of non-unity, everybody was trying to get that upper hand. Not much unlike today's, but with swords this time. And you can live your life. You could do whatever you want if you have the comfortability to spend time and effort on that endeavor. The question then becomes, what do you do with it? Who do you become when you decide to put your effort, your dreams, your thoughts, your passions into a system, or you throw yourself into a specific job to create a specific end or to meet a specific goal? You hit that goal and you have to ask yourself, what are we doing here? Was it worth it? And who was this for at the end of the day? Corporate is a thing. Feudal Japanese lords, let's say they've got history, let's say. So yes, you could become the ultimate killing machine for this head figure that will give you a comfortable life, right? They will pay for your boarding, they will give you the luxury food, they will send concubines, or what were they called, geishas, to your room if you do the job for the guy, because you got the skills. You could do that. You could be that guy. You could be that right-hand man. You could live your life at the beck and call of your master and be ready to lay down your life at any point because you have lived such a good life. What is there to complain about? But that's not enough for those who have given and taken. Things hit a different scale when you decide to live differently. Something hits you and you tend to just realize things, and you just open up, and you're in tune on a different wavelength. And the universe just doesn't get it. And that's fine. That's the way it is. But in the moment, in the struggle, when you meet something, or when you find something that you can believe in, then yeah, it's time to unsheath the sword. And I don't want to spoil too much. Clearly, this has been here for a long time. It's 1962-ish. So you're definitely more than welcome to check this out if you have the opportunity. I don't know where you would even begin to find something like this on the internet without being charged up the ass. But if you are super interested and want to know where this story goes, I'd recommend it, man. You see your superheroes, you see everything that Marvel and Superman managed to do something very akin to that. I'll give James Gunn and DC their golden stars for that, because yes, Superman did something for the superhero film genre that has been oversaturated by all the bullshit that Hollywood, whatever. But you see all those things, and you have to realize that all this inspiration comes from somewhere. Before the man that can fly, before the gunslinging Westerners, there were legends. There was a story. There was a person who was drinking at a bar and says, you know what? There was this one time with this one blind samurai guy. Holy shit, that fight and that story became legend. And that is a tale of Zantoichi. So, fun, interesting to note. This is one of those like character pieces that I live for, man. It's not just the bloodshed, it's not just the killing, it's not just the shiny sword. It's the story behind the person that had to swing the blade. And being able to experience these things as if they were just something that deserves to be represented and taken care of and just preserved. That's the word I'm looking for. It's great, man. It makes me feel things. It makes me feel like there is a responsibility and a need to showcase the stories and the inspirations that made us, right? There's a Netflix show called The Toys That Made Us, and it's like all the freaking pop culture little minifigures that they released, and how those inspired these creators to create movies, comics, video games. And that, simply put, there is how I feel about seeing all these films in a time that shouldn't even be here. But thankfully there is a game called Ghostoftsushima, or Yotei. We're playing Ghostoftsushima. Go check our playthroughs if you're interested. And Ghost of Yotei releasing soon, that is taking inspiration not only, but paying respect to the stories that came before it. And we keep on asking ourselves, what are we doing? Where are we going with all this? Sony is gonna keep on building to do something. While I've heard things and I've seen reports of what something could be, it's these things that really make me hope that we can keep on doing things that matter. I don't know how else to put that in simple terms. We just recently got Tom Holland's Spider-Man suit revealed in whatever the new movie's called. Brand New Day, Spider-Man Brand New Day. And that's enough to mean something to a lot of people on the internet. That's great. Let's see where this inspiration comes from, man. Like it's hard to say that these companies and these people are not going to be learning from this moment, but it's also like we deserve to have this thing available to us, and it's getting less and less like that, and more of a, well, you're only getting it because we're giving it to you, which again is consumerism 101. But it just makes me hope for something that means more, I guess. We got Spider-Man week coming back into theaters, so Sony, I guess, learned a thing or two from last year, and I guess we'll just keep an eye. We'll just see what movies mean to people and what those experiences bring to the table. And seeing all these retro samurai classic films really makes me feel like, hey man, we've been doing this for a long time, man. So, it's been a great wild ride, and I'm looking forward to see what else we look forward to. So, tell Zantoichi. Unfortunately, we've been busy. I've been alive. I've been doing work. I appreciate the space and the time to actually do certain things that were on the bucket list. We are planning to keep on going with this cinema experience. Samurai movies, awesome. I love it. And trying to reflect on, like, what is this? Where are we going here? These Japanese guys, like, they had a certain like a mindset back in the day, and I'm very excited to see where these movies take us, and what inspirations we get from them. Spoilers, next movie up is called Lady Snowblood, and that movie is apparently what inspired Quentin Tarantino in Kill Bill. So we're getting some of that action in that. Now I have to what is it called? Retrograde or whatever. How this film came from this film, and it's gonna be a wild ride. So looking forward to that. Hopefully we see more interesting takes on the samurai genre, what they used to be. And I don't know, man, call me crazy, but I feel like we can get samurai films in 2025 or 2026. Actually, there's still 2027. There needs to be production time. 2026. But if if we see a resurgence, like for example, Ghostoftsushima film is being made or being worked on. If we can see a resurgence in katanas, which I feel like America is primed to go katana out, you know what I mean? So if we can do that, Sony, start taking them notes, Sony. It's time. It's time. It's time. So, with all that being said, please go watch these Sony these samurai films if you have the chance. Give them a little insight that, yeah, people care, man. It's not the biggest thing in the universe, but that's not what it's about. It's about being there for your homie when your homie asks for help, and it's up to you whether you feel it's time to step in for the homie. So, with all that being said, it's been a blast. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of these. Thanks again for being cool with your timing. There's gonna be a lot of things that need to get done before I can actually have some breathing room to do more fun stuff. But guess what? Zenla's Zone Zero is ready. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But until then, thanks for watching.